How can my company be certified according to ISO 9001? How can my company prove that it is compliant to what the standard is saying? Is it possible to just make a self-assessment? Can my company just state, my rules are made according to the 9001 standard? Actually, no. Self-assessments are not accepted. Self-assessments are quick and practical, but they have a very big flaw. Their strength depends on your reputation. This would lead big and well-known companies to take advantage from a positive bias. People might think more highly of them just because they are well-known. And small and unknown companies would probably suffer from a negative bias. And on top of that, judging your own company in an objective way would be quite impossible. So, ISO came out with a better solution. The process of third-party auditing. Simply put, this means that a third-party certification company comes to your company and inspects it. We will explore these concepts in a more detailed way in the courses section dedicated to the audits. By now, the point is that once a year, your company undergoes something like an exam or inspection by an impartial company that almost just does this kind of exams or inspections. How does the third party work? The third-party company makes its inspections according to specific guidelines made by a national accreditation body. Each nation has its national accreditation body. These national accreditation body periodically come and check if the third-party body is working properly. In other words, they check if the third-party body is working according to the guidelines. The chain goes on. These national accreditation bodies, in turn, are periodically checked by an international body called International Accreditation Forum. And what do? They check if the national accreditation body is working according to their standards. So you may see how there is a very strict chain of controls. A checks B, B checks C, C checks D. This gives value to the inspection that your company will receive. No one would suspect that the results of the inspection were somehow tampered, because the company that inspects you has all the reasons in this world to be professional and impartial. If the third-party body were not professional, the national accreditation body would find that, and they would even revoke their license to operate. In these slides, we use this simple drawing of a magnifying glass every time we spoke of inspections. What do we mean by inspections? It's actually a simplification. So far, we talked of inspections, but since they are made in a particular way, they deserve the correct term: audits. Now, you may as well ask yourself, how often do these audits happen? Is it once in a lifetime thing? After all, we often spoke of audits as something not that distant from an inspection or an exam. And in some cases, there are exams that happen once in a lifetime, just like the graduation from high school or the driving license exam. For audits, it doesn't work that way. It works as following. Your company will receive an audit every year with this pattern: 1 intense audit, 2 easier audits, 1 intense audit, 2 easier audits, and so on. Why? There are many reasons why. We will stick to the most important ones. First of all, sampling. It's very difficult to do a complete check of everything your company does, and every way your company ensures proper health and safety measures in everything it does. So, it's better to program your audits and schedule them in a 3-year span. Also, we don't want anyone to think that your company was perfect the first time the audit took place, and then everything went wrong as soon as you got the certificate. Let's go into some more details of how these audits are planned. The first audit your company will receive is called a certification audit. It will be quite intense. It will last more days because it will sample more processes. Then, once a year and for 2 years, it will receive a surveillance audit. Surveillance audits are less intense. They require fewer days of auditing because they check just a fraction of all your company's processes. What happens after 3 years? Your company will go through a recertification audit, which is as intense as the certification audit. So, in this simple example, you can see the certification pattern. a big audit in 2020, a certification audit, a small audit in 2021, a small audit in 2022, a big audit in 2023, a recertification audit, and so on.